Yeah, a compassionate organization it's a good question, and one that we've had to kind of learn, of course, how to operate as a compassionate system ourselves. Because the way in which we internally in our organization operate produces the kinds of outcomes that should very well be in service of compassionate systems change outwardly. And so how to do that? And I can say from my own perspective as the executive director of the organization that my tendency and the way I've been trained and the way my kind of persona work is I am analytical before I'm compassionate. So my go-to is I am very good at dissecting and analyzing and as, just being very clear on things. So when there are breakdowns, for example, when we have breakdowns with partners or there's people who are not feeling well or there's challenging situations, my immediate go-to is to start, very sharp, very unemotionally dissect and analyze things. But that's not necessarily particularly compassionate. The clarity part can be very compassionate, but you have to somehow be able to meet people as well. And so if I only meet them with my empathy, my ability to feel into how they're feeling, I can mirror that back at them, and that doesn't help anything. Imagine a bullying situation, for example. If you come into a space and you feel self-loathing, or you feel that you're not good enough, or you feel that you shouldn't be there, and so on, very, very easy to evoke that people who feel that that's how you're feeling about yourself, and they'll start mirroring that back at you, contributing to a very vicious cycle, a feedback loop that's like, yeah, you're not all that. So you're looking for all that in people, and people will play it back at you. So if you show up with your compassion, you feel what it's like for people, but you stand your ground in the sense that allowing yourself to become anchored in your own emotional reality, so not become overwhelmed by the emotions of others, not become overwhelmed by whatever challenging situation you're facing. And sometimes it takes me a long time to figure out how do I weave compassion, compassionate replies, compassionate integrity into the clarity that's my kind of natural go-to way of operating. So really always having the reflective process of clarity, being as clear as possible on the one hand and as caring on the other hand. And I want to make sure that we don't feel that care has to do with niceties, or it's wishy-washy or soft skills. Whenever people say that this kind of work is soft skills, I have to bite my tongue to not have a very arrogant reply, because it's clearly because they've never tried working like this. I'll take math and science and anything like that any old day over having to work through becoming a compassionate systems leader yourself, because you have to confront yourself, and it can be challenging because sometimes you discover that you're not as nice a person as you thought you were, or you have to be in a situation where you choose the rational stance of I will care for you and I will wish you well-being, even though I think you're showing up as an idiot. And that is a process of cultivation. You have to learn how to do that, and you have to practice it consistently. But when it works, the outcomes that we're producing are human flourishing. So it's all worthwhile.